deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, exploring.
Yeah, welcome to the show. This is Smoke the Competition. I'm your host, Eric Sojash. This is where we talk about fantasy football, football betting news, football betting tips. I give you my advice, tricks, and trades on how to smoke the competition. Everything I tell you, I'm also doing. I double down on what I let you know. Any advice I give you, I'm also taking it. It's already week 7. I'm jumping right into your week 7 waiver ads. This is my advice for your must ads for week 7. I got some quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends to help you fill your positions. We do have a couple teams on bye week here. I believe it's the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. So, if you got to fill those rosters, no Cole Kmet, no Jake Ferguson, I got some tight ends that you could think about here that should be available in your free agencies. So without further ado, you can see the list I got here. I got a couple more hidden ones that are, depending on your league size, they might still be available. But yeah, stay tuned. Give us a follow, like I said. Hey, please subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. We are growing every day, trying to bring you more, great content. I love football. Hopefully you guys do too. Without further ado, once again, I'm Eric Sojash. Let's jump right in. This is Smoke the Competition. Let's go. First player I have as a must add. I don't know if you guys heard the breaking news. I just got it while I was prepping for the recording here. Aaron Rodgers has required his longtime mate, Davante Adams, from the Las Vegas Raiders for a conditional 3rd-round pick. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers gets to pair up with Davante Adams again, now in New York, go after a championship together. This is fantastic news for Aaron Rodgers. This is fantastic news for fantasy football owners. I believe Aaron Rodgers is an absolute must-add. Stash him, play him against good matchups. With this type of offense, with Breece Hall, now with Garrett Wilson, and adding in a superstar wide receiver like Davante Adams, you got to get Aaron on your rosters. He's a must-add for me. Definitely pick him up and get ready to play him for the rest of the season. Another quarterback that I'm looking at as a must-add on the opposite end of the age spectrum, we're going from an old vet to a young rook, is Drake May. Man, I was a big Drake May fan coming out of college, especially his first year there, where he got the full-time starting job at North Carolina. I believe he was absolutely phenomenal, both using his legs and his arm. The kid is great. Glad that New England's finally turned the keys over to him. Yeah, that O-line's abysmal, but Drake's got the ability to escape. He's not going to let this break him down. He's a tough kid, a lot of older brothers. Don't worry about his confidence. Trust in Drake May. Get him in your lineups. He's going to make this offense better. This is a long-term play, especially if you have him in fantasy leagues that are keeper leagues or any of those types that you can play him next year. This kid is going to be a star. I have a gut feeling. Just watch the tape. Watch how he plays, the poisonous, the athleticism. It's all there. Pick him up. Drake May, absolute must-add. My next must-add is running back of the Los Angeles Chargers, Kimani Vidal. Absolute smash pickup here. You saw what he was able to do in the passing game. He was also a great running back in college, led the nation in yards. He'll be able to transfer well over to the NFL. Now that Gus is on the IR, there's an opening for a lot of carries in this offense. Get Kimani Vidal on your rosters ASAP. He's a great must-add for Week 7. Another player I see as a must-add is that running back out of Tampa Bay, Sean Tucker. He got his opportunity and he absolutely smashed with it. I don't know if anybody else did this, but I'll put my hand up. I started him in a 14-team league. I had lost Rashad White, picked up Sean Tucker, and he was the number 1 running back on the week. That's right, number 1 overall running back on the week. This boy can play, catch the ball, run the ball, absolute smash play. He's much better than Rashad White. The coaching staff has to see that. I don't know if they'll fully turn the keys over to him and Bucky Irving, but he proved he deserves a role in this offense, and they can't ignore it. Pick him up, stash him. You might even be able to play him if Rashad White's out for another week. All right, another player I see as a must-add this week is wide receiver Demario Douglas of those New England Patriots. Yeah, I'm doubling back to those Patriots. If I'm telling you to add Drake May because of his talent and what he's able to do, I'm definitely going to tell you to add Demario Douglas. He seemed to be Drake's favorite target in their first game together, and it turned out to be a fantastic performance. I believe Demario is very consistent, especially in PPR leagues. He's very shifty. He's able to get open. quickly with a bad O-line, that is what Drake May is going to be relying on. So I'd pick up Demario Douglas in all formats, especially PPR, and I'd play him. He's a very safe floor with a big ceiling there as well. You saw it on Sunday, and I believe it can only go up as long as him and Drake May continue to build chemistry. All right, now looking at the tight end position, I'm looking at David Njoku as a must-add this week. Now this one's a little bit riskier. He still hasn't had that breakout. They still haven't been clicking on offense, but that's good. You want to get ahead of the curve on this one. Eventually, they got to make that QB change, and it's going to go over to my guy Jamius. But even if they don't, Deshaun Watson, for him to keep this job, he's going to have to be better. And to be better, he's going to have to rely on his tight end. And I'm always one of those guys that says you bet on talent. David Njoku is a super talented tight end specimen. The guy can beat most linebackers and most safeties just on physical talent alone. I'm going to pick him up if I'm able to. I think you guys should do the same if you're struggling at tight end. Eventually, Njoku's going to hit. Believe me, I'm believing in it 100%. All right, now we're looking at a couple other guys. Now, this is a little bit different. Some of these guys are not available in some of my leagues. Some of them are, depending on your league size, 14, 10, 12-team leagues, and depending on how, fierce your competition is, they might still be available. But these are some guys I definitely think you should be picking up. They can definitely help you win. Big-time players, big-time opportunities in their offense. Just depends on your rosters. But let's have a look at these other players that I'm looking at as ads in Week 7. All right, Christian Watson, wide receiver number 9 of the Green Bay Packers. One member of that quartet, that wide receiver dangerous group that Jordan Love's been throwing to all season. He's one of my must-adds this week. He's been dropped in a lot of leagues. I noticed I was able to pick him up last week and play him in one of my leagues. Desperate, needed a filler. He actually hit. He doesn't get a lot of targets, but when he's in the game, especially if Dontavian Wicks is going to miss time or any of those receivers miss time, it looks like even the number 1 guy, Jaden Reed, got banged up. If any of them miss time, then the rest of them get a bump in target share, in playing time, and you want a piece of this Packers offense. So for that reason, Christian Watson, absolute must-add. Get him on your rosters. Play when the opportunity is there. It might even be there this week in Week 7. Last but not least, I'm looking at Juju Smith-Schuster. His return to Kansas City has been a splash. Now they've lost 2 top receivers. They have no Hollywood Brown. They have no Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce is not quite what he was a couple years ago. So they need to lean on somebody. And, they can't lean on the rookie Xavier Worthy. He can only do so much. He can only garnish so much, targets. And he's a smaller body frame. So I wouldn't rely on him for too many targets. That's not what they're going to do. They're going to use Juju. He's an absolute must-add. You saw what him and Patrick Mahomes were able to do with very little practice time together. That's only going to grow throughout the season. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be a part of this offense. So pick up Juju. You could play him as a wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 2 upside, most likely depending on the matchup for the rest of the season. So that pretty much sums it up for my must-adds for Week 7. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I'm happy to answer all your comments and questions. Let's have some fun this season. Let's go. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for following up with us in Season 2. So excited to get things rolling. Once again, follow our fantasy season. I'm going to give you guys an up-close and personal look. Give me your ideas. So let's stay interactive. Let me know what you think. I'll definitely be interactive, responding to all your comments. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Give us a like. And you can give us a follow at Souljash Sports. Thank you, peace, love, and let's continue to smoke the competition.
Deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard.